Who's going to be this year's Brock Bowers? Who's going to be the next Fred Warner? As we continue our coverage for day 4 of Short Shots and Sleepers for the NFL Combine 2025. Today we're doing tight ends and linebackers. Let's go. All right, man. The Hit Squad has been having a blast this week doing our coverage of the NFL Combine, who we feel like the best prospects for the 2025 season are going to be. And we are now arriving at the positions of tight ends and linebackers. So who's going to be the top tight end? Who's going to be a sleeper pick and get in the later rounds on day 2 and day 3? They're going to be a Pro Bowler for you, as well as who's going to be the best three down linebackers for your team, and who's going to be a sleeper pick that you can get in later rounds that could translate into a Hall of Famer. So, like I said, we've been doing our continuing coverage of short shots and sleepers, who the short shots, who the sleepers, and where their best fits are, who we feel like they're going to fit in with what team and how they were going to, if they land there, it's likely they will feel like great potential that they have to be good NFL pros. So, starting with the tight end position, let's get into that first and foremost. The tight end position is definitely going to be an interesting one here. I would argue that it'll probably be 4 to 5, maybe 6 guys on the list that all can have great potential to be great pass catchers in the NFL. It just depends on where they land. Got to have a good quarterback if you want to be a good tight end in this league. I mean, let's just be honest about it. So, when you talk about talent level, this particular guy, that's my sure shot to start off the conversation. I'm telling you, this guy here, coming up in the draft, I'm just going to be honest with you here. It's not close. I mean, there's a guy that could be nipping on his heels that could probably go second behind him in the draft, but this particular guy, I mean, this is a no-brainer. It really is a no-brainer. When you talk about this guy, I think that no matter who drafts him, there might be a fight over who drafts him, might be some trades to get him. If he goes to the right team, he's going to be a problem early. Like, I'm looking at another repeat of Brock Bowers in the 2025 season, and that's Tyler Warren. Tyler Warren is going to be a headache for a few people that have to face him in the 2025 season and beyond. He's going to be an issue. This particular guy, his measurables are off the charts. He's 6'6", 261 pounds. He did not perform at the combine. He did not run. He did not do anything athletic at the combine, but why bother? I mean, just turn the tape on. He is absolutely a nightmare for anybody that's going to try to guard him. We're talking, receiver level skills at the tight end position. He's, again, did I mention he's 6'6", 261 pounds? I mean, we're talking Rob Gronkowski level of size and strength, right? And not on top of the fact that he is an elite athlete at that position. Again, he runs like a wide receiver in a tight end's body. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. This particular kid from Penn State is definitely doing the league a disservice as soon as he gets there. He's definitely disrespecting everybody's corners, safeties, and linebackers to try to cover him. I'm just going to be honest with you. Again, I'm really looking at a repeat of a performance of what Brock Bowers did last year on a bad team. I mean, Brock Bowers flourished on a bad team. He was a 1,000-yard guy despite being on a fluctuating quarterback team, with the Raiders. So imagine him having a good quarterback going forward. It's going to be a problem. And I think the same thing is going to be said for Tyler Warren. Tyler Warren is going to be able to honestly and truly be a matchup nightmare for anybody that faces him. And again, I've mentioned his superlatives being an elite athlete. He's a matchup nightmare for anybody covering him in the middle of the field. And again, he has elite zone recognition. He knows where to sit down in areas to get open. Elite pass catcher, red zone target. I mean, you name it, he does it. It's a very underrated blocker as well. People don't give him credit for that. And I think that can get better. So, that's the type of thing that you can coach up. So I would argue that this particular guy is a no-brainer to go number 1. I love Coastal, Loveland, and all that good stuff, but I wouldn't be mad if my team drafted him. But Tyler Warren is not going to be there for my team to draft him in the late first round. He's not. He's just not. So I would argue that between 1 and 15, he's going to be gone. If he lasts to 15, I'll be shocked. I really would be shocked. And it'd just be a wonky, wild draft, and I don't understand what people are thinking. But the people that don't draft him are going to regret it. I'm just going to be real. So my ideal landing spots for him would be the Dolphins or the Colts. They're very needy at that position. I mean, you can see what they did with John Smith last year with the Dolphins. So imagine plugging a guy like Tyler Warren with that speed on the outside. Mike McDaniel will be, smiling in his sleep, having Tyler Warren as his weapon in the middle of the field for that team in Miami. So, yes. And then Anthony Richardson, or whoever's going to be quarterback there, having Tyler Warren with those receivers on the outside as well. Listen, that's an issue. That's an issue. I would argue that the Jets might be in line for him too, but the Jets got to solve their quarterback position first before they get a guy like Tyler Warren or bring him in. If they don't go after a quarterback in the first round and they have one in house by the time the draft hits, I argue that they might take Tyler Warren with their top 10 pick. So Yeah, those are my three landing spots. But Tyler Warren, no brainer. I mean, let's just be honest here. He's it. He's it in this all in the bag of chips. You can't miss with this guy at all. So when we get into sleepers, now who I feel like they're guys that aren't high on people's radar, but are very immensely talented. We talk about guys like Mason Taylor, son of the Hall of Famer Jason Taylor from LSU. Jason Taylor's son, Mason Taylor, is 6'5", almost tall as his dad, 255 pounds. Now, he did not run the 40 either at the combine, but he does not need to. Again, for him, turn the tape on. Turn the tape on for him, and he'll show you exactly who he is. He's an elite hands catcher. He's an immensely big-time red zone target for any quarterback throwing him the ball on those money downs. And he has uncommon speed for somebody his size at 6'5". They say he runs like a possession wide receiver, which is a blessing for anybody to say that from a tight end perspective. If you run like a possession receiver at the tight end spot, that's uncommon. That's uncommon. He's very good. He's very good with his hands. He's definitely strong, athletic. He will go up and get the ball in traffic. He's not afraid to go over the middle and take big hits. I mean, not just you want to be honest with you, if you want to preserve your career, but you can tell a kid is unafraid. He definitely knows what it's like to be a pro. And I'm always an advocate of kids that are athletic and have the skill set, and they have dads who played in the league, because they understand exactly what it means to be a pro because they watched their dad do it for many years as a kid. So they have their tutors, their knowledge, and that I can see leg up in regards to what it takes to be an NFL player. So listen, if you get Mason Taylor on your team, you're going to be definitely in the running for having a Pro Bowl tight end. That's for sure. He has all the measurables. He has all the speed. He has all the grit and toughness that you need as a tight end. Now, I'm looking at the Chargers drafting him in the second or third round, depending on where he lands. I'm definitely hoping they do that, addressing a need or so in the first or second round, depending on how things fall. But I would not go past the third round and not pick him up if I'm the Chargers. That's just me. And I'm not even sure, based upon how he did at the combine, will he even last that long if you let him walk, past the second round. But definitely having my eyes on the Chargers, particularly getting him in the second round, maybe third, depending on if we're lucky enough. But definitely he's on the Chargers' radar being their pass catching tight end they need and haven't had since Hunter Henry. The Texans is also another good landing spot. I don't know exactly how they feel about Dalton Schultz, but he definitely will add an upgraded talent level to that room in regards to what CJ Stroud will have to throw to. I think he's another good guy that he could land there, assuming that the Dolphins or the Colts don't move on one of those guys if they don't get Tyler Warren or Colton Loveland. But I would definitely say the Texans could be another spot that could ultimately benefit from a guy like Mason Taylor being in that receiving room. So look out for those teams to get him early on, and I think that they'll be good for them. And my next sleeper is another guy that I'm high on after the combine is Terrence Ferguson. Terrence Ferguson from Oregon, another really tall and stout tight end, 6'5", 255 pounds, running 4.6 340 at the combine, which is definitely great for a tight end spot. Runs faster than most linebackers in this league. So yes, give him a lot of credit for that. Another lead hands catcher. He has really good red zone awareness, knows how to get open in end zone, and pulls down contested catches from DBs and linebackers. They really don't have a whole lot of chance of stopping him from pulling those passes in. I really like his skill set. I like his mock set. I like his pedigree. His film speaks for itself. And one thing he has a leg up on some other tight ends in this group, that he's a really willing blocker. And that speaks volumes to a lot of teams in this league that like to run the ball. When you get a 3-down tight end that you can have in line, that's going to allow you to have him be able to block ends and linebackers and not have to worry about it, and you can get your run game moving downhill, that's an underrated skill for tight ends coming into the league. Now, most tight ends have to learn how to do that when they come into the league, but he does not. He can get improved on it always. You can always get better. But I think that he has a leg up. He's one of the more highly skilled tight ends that can block as well. I mean, I'm looking at comps like a Travis Kelce, who came into the league knowing how to block and was pretty good at it. So I think that or George Kittle. I'm not saying he's George Kittle in from a strength perspective, but he definitely is one of those guys that knows how to block and is willing to do it and willing to do the dirty work to get things done on offense. So I like it. I like it for sure. Well, I think he might land. The Broncos is a landing spot for him. I think would be a good one. They could use an upgraded tight end as well as the Jets. I think the Jets, if they don't spend their capital on Tyler Warren or somebody like that early on, and they want to address some other needs, quarterback or edge or interior D-line or whatever it can be, O-line, whatever they want to do. Wide receiver, because they lost Devontae Adams, it could be that. maybe they wait until the second or third round to get a guy like Terrence Ferguson in the draft. So I like those spots for them. I think he will be good, assuming they got a quarterback in New York, as well as Bo Nix throwing to him. So I think I like those fits for him all the same. So I definitely like Terrence Ferguson as a sleeper for this round. So watch out for him on Sundays for sure. All right, so let's move over. Let's talk about the linebackers. So who's the short shot of linebackers in this draft? Now, again, this is a no-brainer for me. There's some guys that are very solid in this draft, but there's a person that to me has it all, and it's really no downside to drafting this kid. And I mean none whatsoever. We're talking 3-down linebacker. He has all the speed, talent, and ferocity to play the position and play it well. I harken back to Edgerrin Cooper, who drafted by the Packers last year, and what he did for that team as a rookie. I definitely believe that this guy's going to be the same. And I'm talking about Jahad Campbell from Alabama. 6'3", 244 pounds, runs a 4.5 40. 244 pounds, runs a 4.5 40. Listen, when I tell you this kid not only has the speed, the size, and the quickness to play the position, he also has elite athleticism. Like when you see this kid move on tape, you see this kid move at a combine, you see him move his feet in any type of linebacker-esque motion. We're talking scrape drills, we're talking zone turns, we're talking ball breaking ability. He has it all. He has it all. I'm serious, he has it all. This kid is a lock to be the first linebacker off the board, hands down. Like I'll argue that him not making the first round for a team that needs a linebacker is a travesty. It really is. Now I understand that quarterbacks, O linemen, and edge all a rave, running backs, wide receivers too. But listen, if you are in need of a 3-down Mike linebacker on your team, Jahad Campbell is your guy, flat out. He has elite range, sideline to sideline, elite blitzer on top of that. Like he has an underrated skill of being a highly skilled blitzer out of college. And again, that's a skill. That's a skill. And he's a tackling machine. He's a tackling machine. He does not miss tackles often. And again, that's out of college. So again, these kids, anywhere from 20 to 24 years old are still growing, are still ascending. So if you have that skill set coming in, that speaks volumes of who this kid can be like in the league. Again, great coverage skills as well, underrated in that. I definitely believe that this kid is going to be a first-round pick if people are smart about it, for sure. Ideal landing spots for me, the Vikings could definitely benefit from him being on that defense, being coached by, oh my God, my guy from the Dolphins, by way of the Patriots. Why his name is escaping me right now? But the defensive coordinator for the Vikings, you know what I'm talking about. Why the name is escaping me right now. I'll find it in a minute. But yes, playing for the Vikings, and of course, with Levante David getting older and long in the tooth, they let again, I'm bad with names today. They let not Devin Bush, but they let the other linebacker go a year ago, what he had as a young guy. They need another linebacker in their midst. So I definitely believe that they can get that done and bring him in, and he will be a day one starter for them. So the Vikings being coached by their defensive coordinator or the Buccaneers would definitely be, guess you can say, a plug and play. Like he's going to be a day one starter. He's going to take over your defense. He's going to be calling your defense in its entirety. He's going to be calling you defense. So I will argue that you can't miss with this particular guy. So yeah, definitely get him in the fold and do it fast. So yeah, I think that Jahad Campbell is the guy. Is definitely the guy. Brian Flores. I don't know why Brian Flores' name escaped me for the Vikings, but yes. And Devin White. Now it's all coming back to me. Boom. How that works, right? And Brian Flores for the Vikings coaching this kid or taking Levante Davis spot or playing next to him, learning from Levante Davis, and once David leaves, he'll be the man in Tampa Bay. Will be my great landing spots for this particular kid. That's for sure. All right. So moving on, who I feel like the sleepers are for this particular set of draftees for the linebackers. I got a couple of interesting names. Maybe not household names, but they may become household names in the future. That's for sure. I'm going to start with my guy from Ohio State, Cody Simon. Cody Simon, 6'2". He played at 235. Now he's about 229 at the combine, but he definitely has trimmed down a little bit. But listen, when I tell you this kid does not need to run at the combine because his tape shows the elite speed that he has. They have him clocked around about a 4.5 as well, like Jahad is. But listen, this particular kid cut his teeth all the way from special teams to starters to being the defensive MVP in the playoffs. So that should tell you right now that his work ethic and his ascension is definitely his stock is up and is continue to rise. throughout the time he spent in college, and it should continue to be that way in the pros. Now, another, again, 3-down linebacker. He's an elite run defender. He has great pass cover skills to boot. Like, they argue that he's a safety plan in the linebacker's body. So people that need another Mike linebacker that can call your signals, this super smart, high IQ kind of kid, definitely get Cody Simon in your defense right here, right now. That's for sure. The Eagles could benefit from this to go with him and the Kobe Dean to stay young in that position. The Commanders losing Bobby Wagner most likely can definitely benefit from this kid. So if they get him in like the second round, third round, maybe, if they get their hands on him, to get their paws on him, don't think twice about turning that card in to get this kid in the fold, because he would definitely be a 3-down linebacker for you, and a very highly productive one for sure. I like this kid a lot. I think he can run like lightning. He's super smart. He has a lot of grit, immense run defense, and immense tackler. Like his kid a lot. Definitely like his kid a lot. So get Cody Simon in your lineup if at all possible. And my last guy is Kobe King. Now, Kobe King from Penn State is a grinder. 6'1", 248 pounds. He's a thumper. He's a thumper. Now, I will say, I'll give you the bad news first. Now, he's not the most elite person in coverage, so you might sub him out for a big nickel or a dime package to get more speed on the field on third down. But on those run heavy downs, those gritty, tough downs in early on, in the sticks, first and second down, this guy will definitely change the game for you. He's an elite run defender. He might be one of the best run defenders in this particular class. I mean, when I tell you how he comes downhill and creates problems, he sheds blocks like I haven't seen in a good while from a college kid, and he definitely will disrupt your run game on his own, and if he has guys in front of him that can hold up and let him run an alley and get to the ball carrier, even better. Again, he didn't run at the combine, but again, I think they have him tallied about a 4.6 40, depending on, based on his game film and his tape. So again, not the elite speed of Jihad or Cody, but he definitely can, in the box, tackle to tackle, tight end to tight end. He's your guy. He's your guy. Again, great run defense, real high IQ. He diagnoses plays and gets to the ball carry quick. Smart, intentional, gritty, and tough. He has mean intentions when he gets to the ball carrier. I love this kid's run defense ability. Now, he needs to improve on for the pass front, but again, that's the only thing I really have a knock on him for. But he definitely will be a first and second down linebacker for you day one. Day one. Again, I can't speak volumes enough about how good this kid gets to run. His run defense is impeccable. That's for sure. He gets downhill and he makes things happen. And he's, like I said, he's intentional and he has bad intentions. That's for sure. So guys that can benefit from him, I think the Titans can definitely benefit from him. Balking on Kenneth Murray and other guys that haven't worked out in the past several years. He can fill that void. The Raiders need a linebacker there to stop the run, as well as the Panthers. The Panthers moved on from Shaq Thompson. So I think pairing him with Trevin Wallace, who I talked about last year, I think that Kobe King can definitely be a problem for that defense for the Carolina Panthers. So yes, if you get your hands on Kobe King, you need a good run stopping linebacker. Kobe King is your guy. That's for sure. So there you have it, man. There you have it. So those are my guys for the linebacker and tight end group. And as always, tell me how you feel about these guys in the comments. And as always, you need to read me on socials. Here's the links here. I'm on every platform: TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. Email as well. So if you need to reach out for me in that perspective, just want to holler at me about my takes, let me know. As always, subscribe to the channel to never miss an upload. And we'll finish up the week with wide receivers and quarterbacks tomorrow. But in the meantime, I'm Coach Davis, and as always, you got to step up to lock it down.